Hi there, it's Marlene Hielema from ImageMaven.com. In this video, I'm going to talk about the mode dial again, and specifically about those custom settings on the mode dial. Now, other cameras have custom settings as well, so if you don't have a Lumix G9, you might have it on your camera, so make sure you have a look. Welcome back, subscribers, and if this is your first time here, well, thanks for checking me out. I teach photography, photo editing, a little bit of lighting, and I'm a huge fan of Lumix cameras. Please subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. So when you use these custom mode, it's like setting up your preferred settings, and you can have more than one grouping of settings on the G9. In fact, you can have 5. So what you do is you say you want it to shoot black and white stills at a certain aspect ratio and resolution and things like that on one grouping. And then you might have a totally different grouping, say perhaps colored video on another grouping. And what that allows you to do is switch really quickly between one set of settings to another set of custom settings with just one turn of the mode dial. You don't have to go into all the menus. So let me show you what I mean by switching between groupings of settings. Right now I'm on C1, and I know that I'm in video mode because it tells me the time that I've got remaining, which is 29:59. I'm at 200 ISO and 1/125th of a second. When I pop it over into C2, I'm at 1/1000th of a second. I've got 1,000 pictures left, and I'm still on ISO 200 and sunny white balance. So you can see that one group of settings goes for C2 and the other group of settings goes for C1. And there's quite a difference in shutter speed there. So if I had to manually get into my camera menus and change it all the way from 1/125th of a second to 1/1000th of a second, that's a lot of time that it takes. So when I set it up in these custom groupings, I can just do it with one click of the mode dial. And that's the advantage of using these. All right, so let's get in here and make a new set of settings that we want to shoot with. So let's say we're going out to shoot some landscapes, and I want to shoot in aperture priority. And let's see, it is a cloudy day today, so I'll leave that on cloudy. And I'm going to blend these photos with some video that I'm currently shooting. So I'll shoot with the same aspect ratio as video, which is 16:9. And I'm going to go into the photo style of natural. Okay, so I've got my camera set up the way I want to for my landscapes. Now I have to assign all those settings to a C button on the mode dial. So I'm going to go into my tools. So I got to go down into tools, and I got to go to page 1, and it's custom set memory. And I'm going to assign those to C1. So I go into C1 and I overwrite what's currently on C1 and I say yes. And now it's going to remember those settings. There's my C2, and when I go to C1, there's everything that we just set up. So we've got aperture priority, natural mode, large JPEGs, autofocus, single shot, 16:9 aspect ratio. Now you can still change some of those, like say it wasn't very bright, so you wanted to change your f-stop. So you can actually change your f-stop if you want. Let's say you wanted to go to f8. Now you can overwrite that again if you want, so you can go back into the custom memory and overwrite C1. So you can do that. And now we have C1, so let's change it to C2. So C2 was this, and now C1 is at F8. So you can change it even though you start with the settings that you set up. You can change them and quickly overwrite them if the conditions change or if you change your mind. So it's very easy to do this. And like I said, super fast, because at C1 I've got aperture priority and all that, and C2 I've got 1,000th of a second at shutter priority and a different aspect ratio. You can see that this is 16:9 and this is 4:3. So that is how quickly you can change that instead of going into all the menus and setting things up. Don't forget though, you can just use the quick menu to get in there and change things if you need to in the moment. So what about the C3 menu? So the C3 has 3 settings, 3-1, 3-2, 3-3. Now in this case, I've also set up C3, but I've set up C3-2, and I've set that up to be Impressive Art 16:9, and everything else is automatic in that Impressive Art setting. But it's super easy to do that. So I can go from my original, which was aperture priority natural, 16:9. Here's my 4:3, 1,000th of a second, shutter priority, and then I'm going into C3-2 Impressive Art. If I want to change to another C3, I can just use the touchpad on the back. The default setting for each of the C buttons is program mode. So if you've never changed it, it's going to show you program mode on all of them. Let me just get into C3, and that's also program mode. So keep that in mind. So to summarize, you set everything up the way you want it, and then you assign all those settings to a custom memory setting. And that's it. Well, that about covers the C mode on the Lumix G9. Like I said, if you have another Lumix camera, you probably have it on there too, and other camera brands as well have these areas where you can group settings together and quickly change them. Have a look at the mode dial on your own camera to see if you have these modes. They're really easy to use. Thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Everything helps. Hey, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And don't forget to check out the community section of my YouTube channel where I post extra stuff in between videos. We'll see you next time.